Hogan versus Micheals. Shut up and actually take my pennies. Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to this. It's another episode of your favourite series. It's 10 years ago, and of course I am Marc P. Tonight, as you can tell by the title, we're going to be looking at the WWE Summerslam 2005. A show that, believe it or not even, that other than the main event, I've never seen before. Ever. So this is all new to me. My notes are here tonight instead of here. I don't know if that's going to work well. It's just going to... Yeah, we'll do here. I thought it'd be good to have them there, like it was an auto cue almost like, but it's just gonna be weird, isn't it? So we'll shut that. So it's I don't know. It's August the 21st, 2005, and we are live at the MCI Center in Washington, D.C. 18,156 fans are on hand, and these lucky pups saw Chris Masters defeat the Hurricane in 1 minute and 56 seconds. Oh yeah. Lucky bastards. This show opens with Lillian Garcia singing the national anthem. For reasons I still just have no idea. Our opening contest saw Chris Benoit defeating Orlando Jordan in a short match to win the United States Championship. I'll go through this one for you because it was fantastic. Hilariously, Orlando Jordan had vowed to knock out Chris Benoit and the build-up package. That's a bit of a funny thing, isn't it? Benoit hits a German suplex and gets the submission win, the cripple across face in 25 seconds. The crowd go fucking berserk, which gets this match the half a star rating that it probably doesn't deserve. I don't know. On the one hand, it's one of the... Fuck's sake. Stay open. We have this all the time. Aren't you glad you watch my vids? You get to see me battling with a window repeatedly. After all this time, I still just haven't grasped the concept. Shut up, Mark. So, yeah. On the one hand, you're like, well, is that it? But on the other hand, you're like, that's fucking hilarious. Because, of course, I mean, the match at Great American Bash lasted fecking ages, and, you know, Orlando Jordan escaped with the win by the skin of his teeth, whereas, hey, this is a very decisive win. In the back, Vickie Guerrero talks to Eddie Guerrero. She knows that Eddie is doing all this with Dominic to hurt Rey Mysterio, and she says that he doesn't care about Dominic. Hell, she says that Eddie could care less about Dominic, which is true, isn't it? He could. Eddie twists the words around and thinks that basically Vickie is trying to say that she believes that Eddie can't beat Rey, which is nice. Our second match of the night is Edge defeating Matt Hardy in a meh match. So we all know this one. Edge shagged Lita. Matt found out about it. Matt got vexed, posted it all on the internet, got fired, and then, like the fucking Mark that he is, when WWE said, hey, want your job back? He's like, yes I do, yes please, and came running back like the Mark that he is. So, oh my days, I can't put into words how hot Lita looks here. She looks so damn fine. So you can probably imagine how this one goes. There's brawling, lots and lots of brawling, all of the beats. There's a great little spot where Edge spears Matt Hardy through the ropes. That's a lovely little moment. But then Matt Hardy is dropped headfirst onto one of the ring posts and is busted open. A few more beats laid in by Edge, and the referee stops the match at 4 minutes and 50 seconds. So, you know, Matt's big chance to get his revenge over the guy who stole his girl, and the match ends in a ref stoppage because of the blood. And you just sat looking at it going, that's fucking pathetic. The worst part about this, of course, is that this one was just starting to get warmed up. They were showing flashes of greatness because you wanted to see these two men batter each other. Because at the end of the day, Matt, well, you know, is quite right to try and get revenge because you stole my girl, damn it. But Edge can turn around and go, yeah, but you're the one who put it all on the fucking internet and meant that I can't have a prayer. These fucking... What do you think it is? You already know what it is. It's a fucking ambulance. So Matt, because Matt splashed it all over the internet, it meant that these wrestling fans can't separate fact from fiction and the character of Edge and the man Adam Copeland and all that. So, you want to see these two men batter each other, and they were battering each other until they got busted open, and got to point out that it was a blade jar, and it was definitely not his head hitting the ring post. You could see there's quite a big gap and all that. It's one of those. Right, so I'm happy to go 1 star, but I can't in good conscience give it any less. And of course, it's the ref stoppage is something that will bother me a great deal later on in the show. Rey Mysterio defeating Eddie Guerrero in an OK ladder match to win custody of Dominic. Just reading that sentence out makes me feel ill. So Eddie Guerrero lost the match at the Great American Bash, promised not to reveal his secret, and then came out on the following SmackDown and go, "I lied, SA," and revealed the secret that he is Dominic's dad and not Rey. So naturally, they're going to decide who gets custody of Dominic in the only way that you can, and taking it to court and getting the judge decide. Oh wait, that'd just be what you do in the real world. In the wrestling world, we have a ladder match because we do. Why isn't Rey Mysterio bothered that Eddie fucked his missus? That's what I want to know here. That's the important thing here. He's not asked about that, because he acknowledges that Dominic is Eddie's son, right? So it's one of those, hey, you fucked my missus. That never comes into this at any point. It's more about the kid. Cole points out that Eddie Guerrero is 0-6 over Rey Mysterio in his career. So you start watching this going, so what's the fucking point in this match happening? You know who's going to win. Jesus Christ. Match is a mixed bag of really good spots. Like there's a spot where Eddie's got a ladder on the outside and Rey does a senton over the top, a springboard senton over the top, and has to use great skill to make sure that his ass doesn't hit the ladder that's sat up like this, wee over the top. That's a great little spot. But this match is sloppy. It has some really bad botches, some really bad timing issues as well. Botch sunset flip looks horrible. A bit where they set up ladder, so it's like that, right? And Eddie gets back body dropped over the top, and when he lands on this ladder, both ladders collapse. Rey Mysterio ending back first on the side of one of the ladders. That looks horrendous. It looks absolutely horrible. And of course, Vicky Guerrero completely misses her cue, so the planned finish is completely fucked. Eddie completely flips his lid, shouting, "Where the fuck was Vicky?" There's some usual, there's the usual ladder match spots in him, and there's Rey getting squashed between the two ladders and Eddie doing a senton onto them. That's a nice little moment. Some innovative stuff like when Eddie's holding a ladder near the ropes and Rey does a 619 on into the ladder, which is one of those moves that it looks impressive, but the logical part of mine just goes right. As he swings the legs round, his legs hit the ladder, so surely he's doing more damage to himself than he's doing to Eddie. Eddie ends up with lying on the ground with the ladder over his face, so Rey does a springboard leg drop, and you start watching and going, but that hurt Rey more. That would hurt you more. It hurt the person doing the move than the person taking it, surely. Anyway, Vicky gets it right on the second attempt and knocks her husband off the ladder, allowing Rey to get the briefcase and custody of his boy. That's, in my opinion, a way too long 20 minutes and 19 seconds. Hugs for everyone while Eddie absolutely freaks out in the ring. Really, really proper vexed. Rey does what he should do, really, and that smashes the briefcase into Eddie's face to shut him up. Why not? Match is okay. It's nothing special, and in my opinion, in the annals of the ladder match, this one is way, way, way down. There are so many better ladder matches than this one. If you want to go 3 stars, please do, but I'm just not that nice, and I'm not in the mood, so it's one of those 2.5 stars. Because at the end of the day, it's one of those. Yes, but the match is happening because of custody of a boy. That's awful. I mean, that's absolutely awful. In the back, Chris Jericho reminds us about winning the Undisputed Championship. Did you know he beat The Rock and Stone Cold Steve Austin in the same night? If I was Chris Jericho, I'd mention that in every promo that I've ever done. Next, Kurt Angle defeating Eugene in a squash match. Eugene won Angle's gold medals, Gert medals, I don't know what that means, and gold and Kurt, I suppose, that Gert medals. Eugene won Angle's gold medals in one of Angle's Angle Invitationals, right? Kurt wants them back. That's why I'm having this match. Angle is treated like a star by these fans when he makes his entrance, and more importantly, he looks pissed off. It's quite funny that he looks all pissed off, and then he does, when he comes out and does this for his entrance, and the pyro doesn't go off. Oh, it makes me smile. Yeah, he has a look in his eyes when he comes out of, I hate you, and I'm going to murder you. How does that sound? I hate your character, and I'm going to break you into many, many bits. And that's pretty much who it is. Eugene does get some offense, and he gets a rock bottom, he gets a stunner, both of them get 2. But this is essentially a 4-minute squash match. Angle batters Eugene all over the ring. Eugene does a very, very, very silly thing by putting the ankle lock on. So Kurt hits a German suplex, an angle slam, and puts on his ankle lock of his own, which gets a submission win at 4 minutes and 31 seconds. I hope we never, ever, ever see Eugene in this ring ever again. And of course, Angle makes the referee reenact his medal ceremony from the Olympic Games, which is just hilarious. In the back, some divas wash a limo in their underwear. I don't know why, until the limo's revealed to have a presidential ceiling, and you're like, oh, maybe the president's here, watching the pay-per-view in his limo. No, that doesn't work for one thing, but no, the window's rolled down, and it's Vince who's watching the pay-per-view in his limo, for reasons, and he just looks at you and like, why not? And you're like, I don't want to see you as a president. It says McMahon for president on the back. I don't know why this segment happened at all. It just defies logic, in my opinion. Next, Randy Orton defeating The Undertaker. This is a rematch from WrestleMania. Suppose it's a step up from The Undertaker after the bullshit that was Muhammad Hassan. And of course, you got to wonder what The Undertaker would have been doing on this pay-per-view if the 7/7 bombings hadn't happened, or the networks hadn't got so goddamn vexed about Muhammad Hassan and the character being allowed to stick around. Would that match have ended in a screwy finish so that Undertaker can get his decisive revenge here, for example? Who can say? So early in the match, a big boot bite with Undertaker looked great and sounded even better. Taker worked the shoulder for a while, which was nice continuity by these two, because on the previous SmackDown, Chris Benoit had fought Randy Orton, and Benoit had worked the shoulder. Hey, nice little touch there. Orton actually didn't selling it whatsoever. When he got his comeback, he worked the leg for a long ass time. Don't get me wrong, he really did. And Taker sells it well. And it's one of those it's one of those things where, you know me, I like my storytelling, I like my psychology in a match, but if you're working the leg and the RKO works your head and your neck, what's the point? It's one of those. I understand that you take the power away from Undertaker, but Undertaker doesn't show any sign of not being able to do the chokeslam or the tombstone, which he did both of, or at least it's the chokeslam, because of the injured leg. So it's one of those, I suppose. Also, in the closing stages, Orton sells the arm, which is a nice little touch. I like that one a lot. After some finisher reversals and a chokeslam, a fan gets in the ring. While the referee and Undertaker get rid of him, it allows Orton to recover and hit an RKO that gets the win at 17 minutes and 16 seconds. But wait! The fan is with Orton. Holy shit, it's Bob Orton! Holy fucking shit! Taker is proper vexed for this one and chases them both to the back. But fuck that. We need to cut to JR King and Coach on commentary, who show us some politicians in the front row. Like, who are you? Who are you? Why should I give a fuck? One's the leader of the Republicans, one the leader of the Democrats. Is that right? I don't care. Honestly, I don't give a fuck. Match was okay. It was about as good as their WrestleMania match, is my opinion. In fact, actually, I don't know why I've written that, because this one didn't have like an RKO kick out or a tombstone kick out, so it probably wasn't actually as good. They put on some good storytelling in there. It just didn't go anywhere. So it was pointless. It's one of those things I always say, don't I? That I'm all happy to see psychology in wrestling. I want to see it. But it's just, when it doesn't go anywhere, I just don't see the point in it, John Cena defeating Chris Jericho in a surprisingly good match to retain the WWE Championship. Now, bear in mind, like I've said, I've never seen this before, so this is all news to me. Continuing the feud from Vengeance, Eric Bischoff had handpicked John Cena's opponent for SummerSlam. There we go. Holy fuck, did the crowd come unglued for this one? They are firmly behind Jericho. A genuine question here. Is this the first pay-per-view where we see the dueling chants? Because at one point, about 5 minutes into this one, we're getting monstrous "Let's go Jericho, let's go Cena" chant. Let's go Jericho, let's go Cena. And it rises in volume and intensity. It's fucking brilliant. When Cena goes to do the 5-knuckle shuffle, they boo so damn loud, it's incredible. But then they go absolutely bonkers when the actual 5-knuckle shuffle misses and Jericho turns it into the walls. That is fucking brilliant. Cena does some nice stuff in this one as well. He counters a walls of Jericho with so much force that Jericho ends up on the outside, right? And when Jericho's getting in and puts his head through the ring ropes, Cena does a guillotine leg drop off the top rope, which is really, really nice, genuine. Finish is good as well. They go up top, they tease doing a super FU. Jericho is able to counter that and get 2 off a back suplex. But when it's weird because Cena comes charging at him, Jericho looks like he's going to try and turn it into a tilt-a-whirl backbreaker. But as he does the tilt-a-whirl bit, Cena shuffles his weight and ends up shuffles his weight so that Jericho ends up on his shoulders. That's turned into an FU. That gets the win. It's really quite brilliant. 14 minutes and 46 seconds. Jericho's last pay-per-view for a very, very, very long time. Is it bad that I really enjoyed this one? The in-ring stuff was good. The red-hot crowd made it even better. It wasn't the greatest. I went into this one with really, really, really low expectations, and I came away going, I watched the whole thing. I was just like, this is great, this is great, this is great. And every time something happened and the crowd reacted, it made a good match great, in my opinion. This is like a 3-star match. That extra star comes from the crowd. Seriously, absolutely fucking wonderful. And then, of course, I'll go shit because Batista defeating JBL in a piss-poor, no-holds-barred match to retain the World Heavyweight Championship. You may remember that JBL had won by disqualification at the Great American Bash. They're going to have a rematch, and Batista says that you can pick the stipulation, so you've got no excuses when I kick your ass. Batista says that. JBL chooses a no-holds-barred match. Who fucking right? I still don't understand, right, why JBL uses a limo to get to the ring. I just don't understand it. The limo moves about 50 feet, and it's just one of those, what's the fucking point in that? At least when Undertaker used to come to the ring on his motorbike, he would come down the ramp and go round the ring. It was still pointless. He could do it in just as much time walking down, but, Anyway, as he makes his way to the ring, JBL fit $100 bills. Floats the way down, which is nice. So, match is a step up from the Great American Bash one, as it didn't last 50 years. It's at least 15 minutes shorter. And the no-holds-barred stipulations mean it's like the JBL brawls that we saw in 2004. So it is a step up. It's not much of one, but it is a step up. It just hasn't got the bud. There's brawling at the entranceway, there's brawling in the crowd, there's a spear through the barricade, which is alright, I suppose. They go into the ring and they do 4 moves, seriously, one of which is a clothesline from hell, which gets barely a ripple from the crowd, right, when the move goes down, and then the resulting cover gets no reaction whatsoever. None. JBL sets up the ring steps, wants to power drive or power bomb Batista onto them. Batista counters with a back body drop, hits a spine buster, hits a Batista bomb, and then hits a second Batista bomb on the steps to get the win at 9 minutes and 5 seconds. The crowd didn't care a jot, and neither did I. But it was better than the Great American Bash match, so that's something, isn't it? 1.5 stars. Gave the Great American Bash one a star. Maybe I'm underselling that one. Maybe it's a 2-star match. I don't know, but fuck it. We've got more important things to talk about. Our main event, of course, is Hulk Hogan defeating Shawn Michaels in a fun, should we say fun main event? So Shawn Michaels turned on Hogan after a tag match on Raw. His justification being that Hogan had been living off his past glories. Oh my fucking days, the moment where Shawn Michaels cut his Montreal promo and played Bret Hart's music on Raw is one of my all-time favourite wrestling memories. I mean, it's one of those, I know I haven't seen this before, but watching this back when I got back to England, watching that Raw was fucking... Why did I watch that moment and not this pay-per-view? Isn't that strange? Well, that's the thing, I watched the main event. I've seen the main event before. It's one of those things. Anyway, it's such a dick move. Having Shawn Michaels back to being a heel, even if it was just for a couple months, was wonderful. Absolutely fantastic. Also, they did a fake sort of Larry King, I think it was, where Shawn Michaels impersonated Hogan, and it was spot on. I think we should go through this one, don't you? So, Shawn Michaels out first, obviously. Hogan waits and milks his entrance for all it's fucking worth. When he eventually comes out, he gets a gigantic pop, and he stands in front of the biggest American flag I've ever seen. It has absolutely no, I don't care No impact on me, that's what I was going to say. Has no impact on me. For starting, a Brit, and technically, Shawn's also an American, so it's one of those, and, okay. Look up to start, won by Hogan, of course. As is the second and the third, each time, Hogan shoves him down, and Shawn doesn't just go down, he oversells it to hell. Hogan gets a shoulder block that Shawn oversells so much that he ends up on the outside of the ring. Inside, Shawn gets some chops, but again he ends up straddled on the corner, right? And instead of just like when Hogan comes over and kicks him a couple of times, instead of just going oh and oh, he sort of pushes himself up on the ropes and goes flying up in the air lots of times and then crotches himself. Hogan sends Michaels headfirst into the turnbuckle and he flips out of it. It's fucking brilliant. A thumb to the eyes turns the tide, but then Shawn Michaels' back drops and clotheslines out of the ring, doing a somersault when he lands. Back inside, Hogan gets the axe bomber, but eats some chops. He tries to send Hogan face first into a turnbuckle pad, where Hogan puts the brakes on, and Shakespeare, when Hogan puts the brakes on, like, oh no you don't, he turns around and Shawn Michaels goes bam, right in the face. It's brilliant. More chops, a few more slaps, lead to another punch from Hogan that puts HBK on the outside. Hogan slams Shawn Michaels on the Spanish announce table and whips him into the ring post. When he tries it again, he goes into the post twice. Inside, Michaels lays in a whole fuck ton of punches, leading Hogan to blade on camera like the rookie that he is. More importantly, this is a manly blade job. There is so much blood that when Michaels later on gets his sleeper on, the blood's running down Shawn Michaels' arm, right? Why the fuck does the referee not stop the match? He did it earlier on. I'm not sure if it's the same referee, but it's one of those, I know it's referee's discretion and everything, but it's one of those, look, they stopped the match earlier on because Matt Hardy got busted open and couldn't defend himself. Hogan is pissing blood here. It makes Matt Hardy look like a bigger pansy than he already did, let's put it that way. So, as we were saying, Shawn Michaels is evil, so he puts on a sleeper. Hogan escapes with a backdrop. Michaels gets a flying forearm, but goes up top to big boots. Big boos, even. Don't you love my vids? The elbow drop misses and Hogan hulks up. He goes to the big boot, but Shawn Michaels gets another forearm and the referee goes down because he was always going, we haven't had a ref bump all night. Shawn Michaels kips up, goes up top, but says, you want Brett? Which is brilliant. Comes out, puts the sharpshooter on. Fucking hilarious. Another ref is out. Jim Ross, oh my god. Jim Ross asks if tonight will be the night that Hogan taps out, forgetting that Hogan did that, exactly that in fact, to Kurt Angle back at King of the Ring 2002. Hogan gets the ropes. When Shawn Michaels wants another sharpshooter, he launches into the second ref. Shawn goes low, grabs the chair, not a chair, and Hogan starts selling the leg, and I don't understand why he does that. It's one of those, you know the sharpshooter works the back, don't you, not the legs. You do know that, don't you? Chair shot by Shawn Michaels and a flying elbow is followed by the sweet chin music, which naturally only gets two. Hogan hulks up to a thunderous reaction, and the usuals get the win for Hogan at 21 minutes and 24 seconds. The big boot oversell by Shawn Michaels is so fucking ridiculous. You have to see it to believe it. After the match, Shawn Michaels extends the hand saying, I needed to know, and now I do. That is all she wrote. Ladies and gentlemen, this is a very hard match to rate even. On the one hand, the nostalgia of it and the fact that the crowd are going absolutely fucking berserk the whole match is really, really good. But the flip side, of course, is that Shawn Michaels bumping is borderline ridiculous the whole fucking match. It's just stupid. There's selling and then there's overselling, and the overselling just looks stupid and makes this all look very, very fake and phony. He made the match entertaining. The build up to this, honestly, is wonderful. Heel Shawn Michaels is just so very good, and he made the match entertaining, is what I'll say. They needed every shortcut to get there. They needed the ref bump, and they needed blood, and they needed weapons, and all that jazz. Did it live up to the legend versus icon hype? I don't know. It depends what your expectations were. I think that's exactly it. If your expectations were low, you probably really enjoyed this. If your expectations were fucking like, this is going to be the greatest match of all time, you probably came away very, very disappointed. I think a fair rating is 2.5 stars. Ladies and gentlemen, I know my star ratings below probably don't reflect it, but I actually enjoyed this show because pretty much every match had something to offer. It was only JBL versus Batista that I didn't particularly like. You know, the squash matches, while short, were entertaining. Edge versus Matt Hardy had flashes of what we might hopefully see in the future. Cena vs Jericho was so much better than I was expecting it to be. I am happy to give this show a 7.5 out of 10. And if you wanted to pump it up to 8, I wouldn't complain whatsoever. But what did you think of this show? I would love to know in the comment section down below. Leave me a little like if you want to as well. Check me out on Twitter and follow me on Facebook. And no, that's the wrong way around, isn't it? Follow me on Twitter. Check me. I get it wrong every time. I'm old. I'm 33 next week, for God's sake. Yeah, I would love it if you followed me on Twitter or checked out my Facebook page. That'd be wonderful. Next up, I'm going to do a TNA one, whichever one it is. Yay. And yeah, that's pretty much it from me. I've been Marc P. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you all very soon. Take it easy, guys.